Hey, welcome to the Async API stream for the Hacktoberfest. It's our second stream. This time I'm alone, but yeah, fully supporting you. And yeah, it's second stream, as I said, 8th of October. Before anyone joins, just a summary for people that will watch it afterwards. It's 8th, so 8 days of Hacktoberfest, and we are done with like 30 tickets were solved, already merged, which is awesome. Among them, few features, which is really good. And yeah, that's kind of it. Just a reminder, let me share my screen. So let me just make sure that the screen is shared. I'm going to check it on our feed on Twitter. Okay. So the screen is shared, which is awesome. So if it comes to the event, as I said, 30 tickets are solved. In general, we had 78 tickets, issues. Yeah, I mean, I started my career in IT in outsourcing, in IT outsourcing in Capgemini. It was something like 12 years ago. I was working in support, and we're always talking about tickets. And I mean, like I said, it's like 11, even more years ago. And I'm still having these tickets in my head instead of issues. But yeah, so we had 78 issues, 30 solved. So there's still a plenty of work available. There's a lot of CI/CD issues. All of like 98% of them are the same, but for different repositories. There's a need to just adjust a workflows, GitHub action workflows, and they are pretty easy because it's mostly about adjusting something or copy pasting. But the most important is that, like for us, it's super important because GitHub Actions does not support global actions yet. So there's a lot of copy pasting across different repositories at the moment for which we don't have time. There are also a few issues with documentation, 2 HTML templating left, and lots of, maybe not lots of, but yeah, many JavaScript issues. Let me see if there are any comments already. No. So yeah, again, for those who are watching later, also reminder that we have a blog post about us, like Async API at Hacktoberfest. And there is a set of videos, and looking at how you work with PRs, I think it's really important to emphasize that it's really important that you look up the video from the second step of the setup that you have to do before you start working with the issues. In the video, it's like 16 minutes, I think, long video, so it's not super short. But it's because I explained like full flow. But when you start, I think with minute 6, you're going to go into instructions where I tell you how to create a fork, and then how to set it up locally in a proper way, because it's pretty crucial that you make sure before you work on the NPR that the master branch in your local fork is synchronized with the master branch of the original upstream repo. It makes your life much easier, because it's much easier to update the master branch in your fork. So yeah, always remember to check out those instructions. By the way, I need to, at some point of time, get a second monitor so the StreamYard view does not go into the stream. Okay, so I see that there are 2 viewers. Feel free to, or just 1 viewer now. Not sure what channels you're coming from, so feel free to drop some comments on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch. Just say hi, like hi. And if you know someone who's pretty good at Twitch and streamed to Twitch before, would be good if you could get us connected, because we last stream that we did, we streamed like now to Twitch, to Twitter and YouTube, but the problem is that the video on YouTube, it showed up, the video on Twitter is there, but there's no recording. The video is not there on Twitch. We probably have to click something, but Twitch UI is not my favorite. And I did not have time yet to Google it. But yeah, if you know Twitch, let us know. We need some help. Okay, so let me see. Hey, viewers, say hi. I think we have 1 viewer from Twitter. Don't know who that is, though. I pasted the message that we start the stream on the official Hacktoberfest Discord channel, but yeah, I did it 5 minutes before, so maybe not many people saw it. Okay. So if there's no one to say hello or ask for help, I will share my screen, and I will simply work on some stuff related to Async API. So you'll be able to see what I'm working on at the moment. And but I will check the comment section whenever, like every minute or 2 minutes, just to make sure that there's still silence in the comment section. And just information for you, if you would like to enter the stream with me, like in case you would like to solve some Async API issue with a pair programming session, then just let me know. I can send you a link to the StreamYard so you can join me. And yeah, I'll send a link to the blog post about Oktoberfest to the comments. It's gonna be interesting because the last time, again, it's our second time we do the stream on StreamYard. So the thing is that I'm putting a comment, and we were commenting a lot during our first stream. We had some questions, but then I checked, and there was nothing, basically nothing in the stream recordings. So on GitHub, even I was like, I remember last time when we were doing Async API conference during live stream, when people were asking questions, and they were asking questions in live chat, and after finishing the stream, and when the stream is available as normal video, the live chat is available, but it wasn't this time. So I've sent now a link to the blog post, the Oktoberfest blog post, and let me check on YouTube if it got there to the live chat. Okay, so it's not visible on YouTube. Then let me try what I have to click. Okay, I could click on the show button, and it showed. Okay, interesting. So when I add a comment, it shows up in the StreamYard, but doesn't show up on a channel to which we stream. But when I click on show, it shows up as a banner, kind of banner, which is kind of helpful, but not much. Ah, wait, I can see it on YouTube. Because the live chat, it's not below the video, but on the right-hand side. Awesome. So at the end, you're getting it, which is great. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna leave this comment opened so you can, yeah, have a look on the blog post. Oh, I got a comment on Discord from one of viewers with instruction how to enable live stream saving. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks, really, thank you. Awesome. I just bookmarked the link and use it. Thank you. Pantrack X. Super cool. Super cool. Okay, so if there are no questions regarding the issues that we have to offer for Oktoberfest, as I said, I'm staying on the stream till the end of, I mean, not till the end of, until the end of No, actually not until the end of. So next 45 minutes. So it's 6:15 or 6:15. I'm gonna be here with you until 7. And as I said, I'm gonna start sharing my screen. I'm gonna work on the stuff that I work now for Async API. It's not actually a lot of coding. It's more docs this time, but you're gonna see what we're up to. And as I said, I'm still gonna check the stream comments in case some of you has some questions. And I'm gonna paste a link to the spreadsheet where we have all the issues listed. So yeah, you have time to go through them. And then ask questions. Let me just double check it got to the YouTube channel. Yeah, it's got to the YouTube channel. I'm gonna also let you know on Discord. Okay, so let's jump into share screen. That's an infinite loop. Okay, so what I'm working now at the moment. Maybe let's make it larger. So what we're up to, Async API. I'll probably do this intro every time. So basically, but it's really short intro. So Async API, I think the easiest way will be to compare to OpenAPI. So if you already have services that expose REST API, I think you probably already use or consider using OpenAPI version 3 or the older father of OpenAPI, which is Swagger 2.0. So these are specifications that allow you to describe your API in a machine readable way. But it's just for REST API, right? So for asynchronous APIs, let's say. And Async API is for asynchronous API. So everything about events. So if your services are part of event-driven architecture, so let's say they talk to each other over a service broker, or your service, you have a service that exposes WebSocket API, then Async API is a specification that you should use to describe in a machine readable form the API. So for example, if you're using a broker, then you can specify that your application, your microservice sends some information to a given broker, so publishes to a given broker on a given channel, but it also subscribes to some different channel to get some information from a broker when somebody sends a message. So that's in short what Async API is. And if it's a spec, then you can build a lot of tools for the spec. And one of the tools we have is a generator. So it's a code and docs generator. It's a kind of framework tool that gives you a lot of features to make generation of the code much simpler. So that's it if it comes to the intro. And what I'm working here on is a template that is a showcase template of all the features that you have available in the in the generator to create your templates. So generator templates. So basically, it's like the most simple command, CLI command to start generator is ag um, so that's a you do ag, then link to a local or remote location where your Async API file is, and then you can do something like and that's where the word template comes in. So templates are projects that you can publish to npm. Like this one is it's a name from the npm. It's a node project that you where you specify your template documents that are then consumed by the generator and feed with data from the generator. So basically, generator parses Async API document and injects it into the template engine that is used by the template. And I'm working on a template for templates. So something that should make it much easier for you to start your own template. But yeah, let's make a short break and see if there are some comments, questions. Nope, let me stop share because this infinite loop is crazy. Okay, cool. There are no questions. So let me go back to the screen share. So what I have at the moment, the template it has a lot of features already available. So it basically showcases all the features. So like the filters that you can use in the template to filter out data, the hooks that you can run in a given stage of the generation, so before generation or after generation, some JavaScript code. Like for example, here you have a hook that I have for adding additional extra functionality for the template. So instead of generating HTML, you can also generate PDF or PNG or SVG. And SVG, because my template that is showcasing the template functionality, it's using Mermaid diagrams generation. And Mermaid, let me show you what it is. It's super nifty beast. So Mermaid, it's a JS library. It basically allows you to write diagrams instead of drawing them. You just write them, and then the Mermaid JS, basing on if you follow the syntax, like when you have Markdown, you can generate HTML out of it. So in case of Mermaid, you write your diagram and then generate SVG out of it. So where's this live demo? I just jumped to the demo. Mermaid Live editor. What? Okay, link changed. Oh, wait. Okay, awesome. So yeah, basically that's how it works. So you just have a diagram here, like let's do a pie chart. and that's it. You just write a text. And as you can see, it's automatically generated. So it's a pretty nifty stuff. You're thinking like, why? What do you need it? Damn it! Like you can imagine like large project, many people collaborating on a project, and you have a lot of docs and a lot of diagrams in those docs. What's the point of maintaining them in PNG or even SVG? Like if you can have them like this in a text form. And the cool stuff is that Mermaid diagrams can be embedded also in Markdown, for example. You could work on a support for it. Like in previous project I worked on, that's how we dealt, for example, with documentation, that you could write Markdown docs and then put a code snippet with a Mermaid diagram. And of course, in the UI, it was rendering as a nice diagram, but in sources, it was so much easier to edit it long term, to give it for review for tech writers and for developers to modify it. So yeah, damn it, it's awesome. And that's why I also use it for my showcase template, so that you basically can consume Async API file, where you have all your schemas provided for your messages that go through brokers. So we can kind of draw a data model, like dependencies between those different schemas, those different messages. It's kind of cool. I'm going to show you for a second how it's generating. But yeah, let me jump if there are some questions from the audience to the Hacktoberfest. Okay, there's no one asking. So yeah, let me jump to my template. So yeah, let me first showcase my my beautiful template. I worked on the instructions, copy paste, that should work. Oh yeah, perfect. So let me generate some output. Okay, so again, as you can see, I'm using the Async API Generator, picking the file from a GitHub repo at the end, because it's a short URL to a most known file that we have with an example of using Async API. And as you can see, our Async API Generator, it's a Node.js tool, and it's using NPM to manage those getting access, like, yeah, to install templates inside Generator so it can get access to it, basically. And that's why, as you can see, it works exactly like NPM. So for example, here I would grab the template from NPM, but if I don't have it published on NPM, I can just put a link to GitHub repo, and NPM installer will still be able to fetch it. And yeah, the output is where we will put the generated files. So let me fire that up. Don't worry about this. That's some stuff I have in my console logs, so just ignore it. Okay, generation is done. And we have output ready. So let's open the generated index.html. Okay, so yeah, don't look on formatting because it's, first of all, that's a template to showcase features, not to build something meaningful. Second thing is I suck at CSS. That's it. I really suck. But the most important is this. So let's have a look first on the Async API file. So that's the Async API file, and you have channels, as I said. So first of all, we have server, which is a broker working with a MQTT protocol. So it's a MQTT broker, and there are different channels, and we're subscribing to a few, publishing to a few others. And yeah, the most important is that, for example, with light measured, we are subscribed to a message light measured. Okay, so you can see there are many messages, and they have all, of course, payload provided with reference to the schema of the payload. And we have refs in schemas as well. So you can see, for example, that light measured payload has one of the attributes is sent, not this one, yeah, is sent at. And sent at is a schema that is basically reused across all those three different schemas. And when you look at this machine readable format, that's kind of, yeah, I mean, you can read it, but finding out those dependencies, that's pretty tricky. And here you have it kind of pretty visible that all those three different schemas depend on send-at schema. So yeah, that's the power of Async API and the power of Mermaid in this case. Pretty nifty. And where's the diagram? Oh yeah. So you can see it's the index HTML. It's pretty simple. So there's I'm just like taking the Mermaid JS from CDN, initializing it, and then in a div with class Mermaid, putting the diagram generated, of course, through the template. And how this part goes into input, that's in the template index HTML. So it's like a HTML file, but as you can see, it has some templates. So it's not something new. Like if you're, I don't know, using React, using handlebars, even if you're not JS person, front-end person, you use Kubernetes. So you probably use Helm. And Helm is basically a bunch of YAM files that you can template with some Go engine for templating. As far as I remember, it's pretty similar. It's also in double mustache. I think the values are in Helm. But yeah, so it's basically a file that one-to-one you want to get in the output, but you just template the values that you wish to have in a given location of the file. And that's pretty it, how it works. Yeah, let me go back now again to the questions. Okay, so there's a question. Can I ref remote spec docs from my root spec when generating HTML? So it's not much about HTML because let me show the question maybe in the UI, or like in the UI as a banner. So it's not much about the HTML because the template that I showed you now, it's not, for example, HTML template. It's my custom template. So from Async API, you can generate anything. Like with Open API, you can generate docs, but you can also generate code, like real applications, services, or clients. So that's if it comes to this part of the question. If it comes to the refs, yes. So the thing is that with ref, it's not, again, our invention in Async API. We just adopted it. So you can point to things inside Async API document. You can also point with ref to things from files in a different folder. And you can also point to remote files. So I can show you an example that I know exists somewhere. So let's go to the Avro schema parser. We have an example there. So for example, and it's also cool stuff about Async API spec is that if you're familiar with event-driven architectures and all those different brokers, you probably know that not always the message is a JSON. It's not like with REST APIs. Sometimes people just use, for example, Avro as a standard for defining a schema for your message. And you can use Avro inside Async API document. You just have to specify that the schema format is it's Avro, and then the payload can be written as Avro. And that's if it comes to intro, why I'm showing this example. And here, for example, we have an example of reference to the external location. You can even link to Confluent schema registry if you want. But there's a lot of examples, of course, in the parser.js, in the parser that we use to parse Async API files. There's a lot of examples. So here you can see like there's a reference into a section inside document, and you have a reference to a document to a section in some file in some folder. So yeah, all those things, different things are possible. I hope that answers your questions, Anton. Okay, we have another question from Anton. In this case, will message format spec be present in HTML? Example, mine. Yeah, of course. Of course it will. We can actually give it a try again. Let me share my screen. So to make it super easy to play with Async API, we have a playground that is powered by our HTML or Markdown templates. And let me put this, let me find again this Avro example. And let's just copy paste it. And let's see what we have here. Schema format is not displayed. So at the moment, so let me just explain in details how it works. So what we do in the parser, because at the end we need a valid JSON, so we need to basically take your if it comes to the schema, we need a before we push the document into the tooling, into the generator, into the templates, we need those schemas at the end to be present as JSON schema. So, for example, when you provide your payload as Avro, we're transforming it into JSON schema, just doing conversion. And but we should have, of course, the information about the original schema format. And we have it for sure in the Async API document. We are not, we're just not displaying it in the HTML, which let me just check to make 100% sure. So that's the HTML template source code. Let's look for schema format. Okay, so there's just an issue. But yeah, we're not consuming this value at all. Now, when I'm thinking about it, that's not that bad at the end, because schema format, what would you, maybe let me ask a question. Did you, yeah, you have. Yeah. So let me stop sharing to not see this infinite loop. So just to make sure, because schema format, I don't think it should be visible in the HTML, but you're not, I don't think you mean schema format. You mean actually the message format as you wrote. So so the user know that the message goes as in Avro format, right? That's what you probably. Okay. So my use case is that the golden source of my message should be declared in schemas for producer services. And consumer services should only have a copy of those messages back. Okay, and we're okay, there's a follow-up. Message producers are owners of schemas for messages. Okay, and your use case is specifically for Avro, or I would. And I would link to like to not have a centralized message registry. But idea, instead of schema registry, have producer services publish their spec. So at the end, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where your schemas will be located, if it's a central registry or they distributed. as long as they are available, so you can ref them in your Async API file, then that's okay. It doesn't have to be a schema registry or anything like this. It's just a some server where they can be fetched from, and that's it. And if it comes to the message format, let me check, because there are two different values in Async API spec for the message. One is where you specify the schema format, and the other one is where you specify the message format. Uno momento, per favor. I don't remember exactly the value. Let me check that. I'm in the spec doc. Okay, checking. Yeah, it's content type. Of course, it's content type. Doch, forgot. Sorry. Where's my screen share button? Ah, this infinite loop. So yeah, on the message, not the message trade. Come on. Oh yeah, message object. So we have a schema format that you use to describe the schema format for your payload schema. So the parser knows, that it's, for example, Avro, and that has to be treated in a special way. But you have also a content type for the message, so you know in what's the content type used to send the message over the wire. But when I add it to the playground, I still don't see it rendered, which means it only means that the HTML template does not support it. Let me see if the Markdown. Content type. No. Okay, the Markdown template does not support it yet as well. Let me just make sure that I did not make some errors, and that's why we cannot see it. So let's take a role model spec. I think we have some content type specified there. Okay, we have content type for light measured message. No, nothing about content type, which, like I said, it only means that it's just not supported in the HTML template. So would love if you could go to the HTML template repo and report and issue feature requests to, like, display nice in the nice way in the UI. What's the content type of a message? And we're still in the first week of Hacktoberfest. Then maybe someone from the Hacktoberfest volunteers will pick it up even. So please go to the HTML repo. I'm gonna send you a link. Okay. Any other questions? Or somebody already maybe has a question to some issue from Hacktoberfest? It's cool stuff with this showing the comments. Okay, another question. What is the state of things with code first tooling? Wow, is it, as I think, a super general question? Or you're asking about how we're doing with those different templates for Async API? There's a few seconds delay, so let me wait for the answer. So I'm just basically clarifying if you're asking specifically about the code generation for Async API or like code first tooling in general. Okay, cool. That's good. I don't like to answer more general questions. So yeah, if it comes to the so let me, what's the best way to share it? Of course, let's first share my screen. And let's go to generator repo. So the state we keep here at the moment in generator repo here because we were now in the process of changing the website. So on the website you can actually get the link as well, but that's not how we like it. Ultimate goal would be that when you go here to tools, you also have a kind of button here that takes you to all the code generators. But for now, among all the other tools, when you go to a code generators, there's this link. Oh yeah, there's this link to a search view in GitHub. So all our repositories that have topics like template, generator, async API, they are listed here. So S plus some other, but the ones that start with Async API, they come from Async API. So we have a template for Java, Java Spring Cloud Stream template. That one is maintained and donated to Async API organization by Solace. It's a company working on Event Portal, and they are, as far as I know, using it on production. I think at least users that use Event Portal, when they export the Async API file, they are advised to use this template. The other one is Java Spring template. The development is in progress. Even some fix was released yesterday. It supports Kafka and MQTT, as far as I remember. Then we have Python. I think this one is in early stage. If you would like to know more, not sure what's the best way, because it's also maintained by Solace. I never tried it, never had time to do it, but I know that Michael Davis from Solace provides fixes on regular basis. So it's, again, work in progress. Paho, as far as I know, it's a Python like framework however you call it, to talk to brokers. That you can use to talk to brokers. Then Node.js template, that's the template that generates the application in Node.js that you can, actually we use it in our documentation to showcase the Async API. Then that's not code, that's docs. This WebSockets template, there's nothing happening in it. Also because nobody's using it. That's one reason. And the second one, as far as I remember, we plan to just integrate WebSockets support in this Node.js template to not just maintain two different templates. And that's it if it comes to something that is already released on regular basis to NPM as official templates. But we have more. Definitely more. So there is a .NET Nuts template and TypeScript Nuts template. That's a work done by Jonas, our regular contributor, and they are in a first initial PR, but they are completed. As far as I remember, Jonas is just waits for our official release of the JavaScript parser and the generator, because generator is now when you go to the releases, like release candidate was released 24 days ago, and I think if no bigger changes will come with October 1st, like first thing in November, we're gonna release it with major release. And then once we release it with major release, those nuts templates will be also released. I think he also works on a WebSocket client for .NET, and there's also a Go template that is a PR opened. That's a template that community works on, but it looks pretty legit. The initial PR. So that's it. If it comes to the let's say the state of things for code generation. If it comes to all the projects, if it comes to the generator, so after writing all those different templates, we're having like second thoughts about the engine we're using in the generator, because at the moment, let me share my screen again. At the moment, in the generator, we're using a Mozilla templating engine, Nunjux. And there are two problems with it. First of all, Mozilla does not actively work on it anymore. It's maintained, but no improvements are added to it. So first of all, you can imagine it's a huge risk to build more and more generators on top of something that is not has no like brighter future than what it has now. So that's one of our concerns. And the second one is it's really hard to debug. There's not enough tooling because it's just stale. And we cannot improve it in the upstream. So at the moment, we have a really interesting issue, something that we want to work, I hope, and I'm pretty sure actually that we're going to work on it in November, is to stop using Nunjux and switch to React. Because React is powerful enough and it has an API to generate stuff on a server side. So people use React not only as a library to build UIs in UI applications, but it's, for example, used as a backbone for Next.js, a tool to generate static sites. So they use the API of React that on the build process you're rendering your React app into pure HTML. So at the end you just deploy static site that is built with React. The other nice use case about React is the Ink project. So you can actually build a command line tools with React. You can just write components for your CLI with React. And we just want to reuse this trend and think about using React for Generator as a templating engine. Because first of all, we're going to build on something that has huge future, like React community is crazy big. And the second stuff is that we're going to make it much easier for us to get like reusable components like with React. So reusable parts that we can share across different templates, which is not possible now. So once we're done, we're going to do this. Then it's the work on the templates going to explode. Does it answer your question? Are you still here? Awesome. Great. Whoa. I was so long with my answer that we passed the time of the stream. So just to summarize, it was a stream for Hacktoberfest participants, but also we're sharing it with the Async API because, I mean, I can't imagine that we're going to have so many participants in Hacktoberfest that we're just going to have it only for issues for Hacktoberfest. So it's great, Anton, that you asked all those questions and you joined the stream. The next stream that we're going to do is next Tuesday. It's going to be 8 a.m. UTC, which, for example, for me, I'm based in Poland. It's going to be 10 a.m. CET. And so you can imagine it's rather nice for APAC time zone than US, for example. But yeah, that's how our streams will work. So Monday in the morning, we're gonna have a stream. Then again on Thursday, we're gonna have it in the afternoon. We're gonna write about it on our channels. And on Tuesday, we also have actually our usual public meeting. It's on Zoom. It's gonna happen at 6 p.m. my time zone, which is 4 p.m. UTC. And I'm going to share with you a link to the agenda for the meeting. So the meeting that I'm just talking about now, it's a different format of the meeting. It's not a stream. It's still public. Anybody can join. We're publishing a Zoom link to the meeting. But yeah, you join like regular person to the call. Which is still fine, but yeah, it's different. It's just rather a open discussion. But if you want, you can have a look. We always keep agenda in the issue. You can suggest some topics in the comments. The sooner you suggest the topic, the better, because we have more time to prepare. Prepare a much more professional answer that, for example, I was now giving to you real time. And yeah, let me finish because my daughters wait for me. I promised to play some cards before they go to sleep. No. So it's yeah, I hate time zones. So it's 6 p.m. Yeah, it's 4 p.m. UTC and 6 p.m. CET. Like, yeah, whatever. It's mixed, but we're gonna always publish it. So we did. everything is in this issue that I just pasted in the comments. So there's the link also though to a really fancy, I have to show it, like I'm gonna finish in a second, but let me show it to you. I just love this tool. Okay, so we always, whenever we So always in the main repo, Async API repo, we when you go to issues, there are always two issues pinned. The first one is always about the project communication. So it's a summary of different channels that we have, how we communicate. But the second one, every 2 weeks, it changes because it's always an issue for a given meeting. So next meeting is on 13th of October. So it's an issue that has all the information about the meeting. And when it talks about 4 p.m. UTC, you can see that it's a link to an amazing every time zone tool that translates time to different time zones. So for example, you could see that I clicked on a link 4 p.m. UTC, but for me, it recognized that I'm based in Central Europe, in Poland, so it translated it to 6 p.m., which is awesome. And you can see what time it is for different time zones. I'm just loving it. What can I say? Okay, now I finish because they will kick me in my butt if I don't show up. Again, thanks for joining and see you on our next stream in the morning, Tuesday, or see you on our Async API special interest group meeting in the afternoon on Tuesday. Cheers.